Hi guys, I wanted to make a video about how you should approach the task of making a documentary and editing your footage now that you've recorded your interviews. Okay, so overall, now that you have your footage, you want to not just present this as a straightforward interview, but rather shape it into a story. So the way that for all of our projects this semester, you've taken material, whether that's an anecdote or a story, and made it into a real storyline, like an emotional journey of your character. In this case, the character is your interviewee. And you want to look at your footage and see if you can craft it into an engaging story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I think it's the most helpful if we go back and think about the way that you dealt with the audio story. You guys turned in some amazing audio stories. And if you think about that structure that Ira Glass talks about, you have an attention grabbing beginning, something that's like really engaging or shocking or interesting. Then you have your anecdote, and that's kind of your middle. So for you guys, that's going to be the beginning, middle, and end of the story of the subject of the interview. A lot of times, because of the way you've written your questions, it will already be naturally in that shape of like beginning, rising action, falling action. But it may not be. Maybe the questions turned out to kind of be jumbled and you want to reorder the footage so that it follows this structure of a story. Then you have in that Ira Glass audio story structure, you have the point of reflection. And this is kind of a conclusion. So it may not literally be your interviewee reflecting on something. It may be just like the heart of why this topic is interesting. Like you're leaving the viewer with like something that feels like a conclusion, or it feels like a observation about this subject that like has some heart to it, kind of. All right, so that's the introduction of what you'll be doing. Next week, the rough cut will be due, and the week after, your final cut will be due. So it's a pretty compressed timeline, but I think we can handle it. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about the tools, the like digital tools that will really help you get to work tackling this project.